Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and we're going to look at XRP, and we're going to do them in those orders, so those three. And what we're looking at here is Bitcoin in on the 4 hour. Right now we're at $9,096. We're down 3.55%. Hey guys, what I wanted to look at here was some key overhead resistance areas that we're dealing with, and also the fact, is this going to be some type of a bull flag that we potentially could be breaking out of here in the days to come? So that's what I'm looking at here, guys. We're going to get into all these targets. We're going to talk about a potential golden cross, potential bull flag here, some of the overhead resistance, volume, Fibonacci. We're going to get into all that. So if you like these videos, you get something from it, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Like I told you, I'm always appreciative when you guys are here with me, helping this channel grow. I'm trying to learn this the best that I can, and I want to take as many people as I can with me. That's my deal. That's my plan. So, guys, let's dig into this. What we're looking at here, and what's important is, we basically got to the point, we've been talking about this back test. Okay, a lot of times when you break out through trend lines, you'll come back down and you'll back test them. And we're basically there right now. We're having very tight candles right now. We're having a doji candle that's forming in on the 4 hour here. So you're having a lot of fight and indecision between the bulls and the bears. And what I believe that fight and indecision is whether this is going to be some type of a bull flag or pennant to where we're going to break out of this and we're going to move to the upside where we may target as high as $13,000, $14,000 if that ends up taking place, or if we're going to have more of a retracement, maybe down to this 0.618 at around $8,500, and see if we could get a bounce off there, which still would be bullish if we could go up and set a higher high. That's what we're looking for, those higher highs and higher lows. So along with that, we are still trading up above this trend line, and if we zoom out, you can see, guys, we got up above it, which was nice. And on the one day, we formed a bullish engulfing candle, and that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see a bullish engulfing candle on heavy volume for bottom. So that's where we're looking at this, and we're saying, okay, was that the bottom, that $7,300 for Bitcoin? And now are we about ready to start making that next wave cycle, higher highs and higher lows with those impulse waves coming in? That's what I'm paying attention to. But right now, we have not had that confirmation. But what I do like to see, and I want to point this out to you all, is on the 4 hour chart, we're getting a golden cross. And you can see this 50 moving average over top of this 200 EMA. So we're crossing over top of that. And a lot of the times when you get that cross, you can really get pushed up for that next leg. And that's where I'm looking at this saying, you know, is this some type of a bull flag that's forming? And typically with bull flags, what you're going to have is this huge pull or this mast. And it comes on heavy volume, so that's looking good. And then the volume will dry up. And you'll have this spell where you're just slowly moving down, and then you're going to have that next leg up, and it's going to be a huge blast of volume like we had here. And basically what you do is take the length of this pole here, extrapolate it up, and that's going to take us around $13,500, which would be amazing if it ends up playing out for us. Even on the RSI, you can see how this is kind of looking. We have this pull up, and now we're having that flag pattern where we're coming down. We're going to see if we get that next leg. Is it possible, though, for us to start breaking back down through this trend line, guys? Yes, it is. And if we do start trading below that again, that could be a sign of weakness for us, because truly, once you break a significant trend line like that, I don't want to start falling back below it and having it act as overhead resistance again for us, because we finally showed we can get over top of it. You don't want to get trapped underneath it, is what I'm talking about. So to the downside, I'm looking at 89.32 and 85.49 as key areas of support, and that's also going to correlate where we have this golden cross. To the upside, we need to get up above this 0.382. That's going to be at 93.14, and then up here around that 97.88. Then obviously from there, if we get above that, guys, we can really try to work up into this red box. And if you step back, this is big overhead resistance for us. You can see we wicked up into this area, but this was a big chunk. We spent a lot of time. We spent from August 14, 2019 all the way till September 24, 2019 in this little range, this area here, before we broke to the downside. So this is a significant area, and typically, guys, old support, so all this area of support will become new resistance a lot of times. And remember when we broke out of this descending triangle, we talked about back testing it at some point, and typically it's between 9 and 14 days. You can see it took a lot longer, but guys, we still back tested it. We went right through. So if we were to draw this, it was a mix between like a descending and symmetrical triangle. You could draw it either way. There are two different ways to draw it. But right here, when we broke out of that, you can see we back tested it. So it took a little more time than I anticipated, but that's one of the scenarios we were looking at, was that back test. and trading back within that range in that area. So right now for Bitcoin, guys, I'll show you exactly where I'm going to put my alarms. And this is where I want to have them right here, so I know when we're starting to make some moves. I'm going to put an alarm right here at about, let me see here, 93.86 is going to be my first alarm. I want to see if we start getting up to that area, because we start getting up to that area, then we're going to challenge this overhead resistance here, and once we break out of that, we could really move if this is some type of a bull flag. To the downside, I want to be alerted at around 89.85. And my current position now, guys, just to let you know what I like to do, I am in cash and I'm patiently waiting for the next move. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just sitting back and saying, okay, is this going to be some type of bull flag, or are we going to start dropping lower and there could be better buying opportunities? And I'm just patiently waiting and watching this the best that I can. But that's where I'm going to put my alarms. We're going to have them at 93.86, and then I want to be alerted at 89.85. And that's for Bitcoin in on the 4 hour, guys. You get some out of that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to go out to the 1 day, and we're going to look at Litecoin next, and then we'll get into XRP. So Litecoin is at 57.81 right now. Let's take a look at this. Been paying close attention to the Fibonacci as well as this trend line. So obviously, guys, our trend has been down. We're still putting in lower highs. This here still would be a lower high in the sense of we had one right here at about 125, then we had another lower high, 101 we'll call it, then we had about 77, and then we had one here at about 60, and we did get over that, but we have not gotten over top of this one at about 77 here. And what we want to see is the trend change into those higher highs and higher lows. So for Litecoin, we got out of the trend line, we had a nice candle close up above it, and then you can see this really long leg doji looking candle here. So a lot of indecision there. You can see we tried to push up to around $64, and we saw a lot of rejection at this 50-day moving average. And what's happening now is we're getting pressed between the 20 EMA and that 50 moving average. And what we're going to see is that we have to have some type of a break. We're going to squeeze until we finally make a move. And if we do run up to the upside, I'm going to target up here around $78. And that's going to correlate with this 200-day EMA as well, which is going to be at about 70, we'll call it $74, $75. So right in that range is going to be a target to the upside if we can get a move out of here. To the downside, we want to see $48.47 hold, and that's where we had this bullish engulfing candle on significant volume. So it's important that we pay attention to that. If we start breaking those lows here, then I would look down here, guys, to about $36. That's just to the downside. So upside targets, downside targets, we're still below the 50 moving average, and we're below the 200-day EMA, which we desperately need to get back up above. It's very important we start trading up above there so we can get in that bull market, guys, because we're still in an intermediate term downtrend. And that's just my opinion from what I'm looking at. Everything here, an intermediate term downtrend is going to be anywhere from about 3 to 6 months. I've read in books 3 to 6 months, 3 to 8 months, right in that range. And we don't want this to turn into a long-term downtrend, or we could really start seeing some low numbers. So it's important that we could break this 50 and start coming up here to try to take out that $77. Right now the RSI is at 51, so we're just neutral here. We're starting to curve a little bit to the downside. It looks like we had a slight little double top there moving down, but we're going to have to patiently wait and see what we end up doing here. But we did get that trend line break, which was important, on a nice bullish engulfing candle there, guys. So let's see if we're going to get a leg up here or another leg down. My alerts or alarms targets here, we're going to put at 63.05 to the upside. I want to be alerted that's right above those wicks. And then to the downside, it's going to be at 55.26 is where I want to see it. So those are my alarms, guys, and then I'll make my decisions once I start hearing these alarms. Remember, always plan for the upside, the downside, and the sideways. That's the best thing that I can tell you. And then let's move into XRP. And if you like me covering Litecoin, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And also XRP, I know we got a lot of XRP fans out there too, really like to cover this and take a look at it. So let me take a sip of water here and we'll get into this. All right, XRP, it's still decision time. That's what I can say for XRP. It's still decision time. We're trading up above the 50 moving average in pink. We're up above the 20-day EMA in purple. And we are basically flirting right now the candle, the close. We're going to have to watch the close for the day. But it's right below that 9 EMA, which is our short-term indicator that for the most part we've traded up above a lot of this short-term move that we've been moving here, or this short-term trend. But the 200-day EMA is still acting as overhead resistance, guys, and it's so important for us to get back up above that. We haven't been up above it since July 9th. 2019, so we've gotten really comfortable trading down in here, but we have been keeping higher lows, which is good. And with us keeping those higher lows, we still have a shot to make that next move to the upside. And if we can start making a strong move to the upside, these are going to be the target areas that we're going to look at. We're going to end up looking at, most likely, guys, probably around 33 cents, and then I'm going to target around 40 cents, and then it would be up here around that 47 cents. You can see this is a big chunk. Guys, if you go to percentages, and that's what I like to look at, I'm looking at percentages. So we'll go to our price range here. Take a look at these channels. That's 20% right there. We'll do another one. Look at that, almost 20%, 17% right in that range. So a lot of really strong moves, guys, can happen on that. I mean, you think 20%. Take 20% of 1,000, and you have a move that goes 20%. Guys, you're kicking butt there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a $200 move, $200 profit if you're playing a $1,000 position. So, you know, that's the type of stuff that I'm looking for. And that's just me. I want to capture percentages. So next one we're looking at is our RSI. We're at 53.91 right now, starting to point down a little bit, so be careful of that. And it looked like we kind of topped out there at about 65. So that's going to be an area on our RSI we're going to want to throw on an overhead resistance line here. So that's what I'll need to see break, and that's going to be at about 65.57 there. But for XRP, it's just decision time. We're just waiting to see which way the bulls or the bears are going to push this market. You know, are the market manipulators, are they really going to swell this up before the swell conference? And it's going to be great, just like it has in the past, and we're going to, you know, go up to maybe 40 cents, something in that area, or even crazier, because, you know, things get crazy when they run. Or we're going to start dumping down and challenging that, we'll call it 27 cents, the 50-day moving average down there. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. In terms of alerts, let's set an alarm at about 31.7 here. So that I want to know if we start breaking to the upside there, because we could run really hard out of that. And then to the downside, I'm going to want to know at about 26 cents, 26.2. Guys, so that's what I'm looking at there. There's my alarms. We're just trying to change the trend. We're in a short-term uptrend for XRP. We're still in that intermediate-term downtrend, though, overall. Remember, we have to change the trend short-term, intermediate-term, then longer-term. So got to see which way we're going to end up breaking out of here, guys. Let me know if you like these. Just want to, you know, put it out there for you, really get those target areas and see what we're going to end up doing. If you like these videos, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friends.